Hey, it's Rich Tehrani. Thanks for watching today's CEO Spotlight with Dave Donatelli. How are you, Dave?
Hey, Rich, great to be with you today.
So Dave is the CEO of Riverbed Technology, a company that has been really, I've known them for decades as a major player in the space. They're up to some very exciting things. And I was watching your career as well when you came to Riverbed, and I was just wondering, you've had this long and impressive career at all these large enterprise tech companies such as HP and others. What lured you to Riverbed, and what did you find most interesting as you were evaluating the company in the early days?
Well, Riverbed, as you said, has a 23-year history of really developing innovative technology. And what really excited me at this point in its journey was what it does with data. I mean, fundamentally, as you know, the world is, speaking about AI every day. AI is based upon data. And Riverbed really has figured out how to collect data in real time at scale and then feed that into what we call the Riverbed data store that they built. And I saw at Oracle during my time there that people really struggled, building whether they call the data lakes, data oceans, anything. And I thought Riverbed really had figured out a very elegant solution to help their customers. And that's what really excited me. And we've been building upon that technology ever since I've been here.
Yeah, and certainly AI and analytics. It's been so hot in the last 3 to 4 years. Really exciting, and with networks throwing off so much data, it's got to be a very exciting place to be. And one of the other things I've noticed is you've rolled out a lot of products, right? So more products in the last 2 years than the last decade, if I have that right. And I'm wondering, from your perspective of the impact for customers, like what are you seeing in terms of what they're adopting, and how are your solutions changing how your customers are working?
Sure. What I see our customers are doing really three simple things that are easy to talk about, hard to do. One, they all want to do tool consolidation because in the observability space, simply they have too many tools that makes it difficult to do their job. As part of that, virtually every customer around the world has some kind of software savings program underway, which goes part and parcel with consolidation. And the third thing is everybody wants to, get AI working in their environment and see benefit from it. So if you look at that, we've built what we call the Riverbed platform. And the platform broadly looks across applications, networks, as we're talking about today, and what we call endpoints, which is everything from cell phones to tablets to PCs. And by uniting all that data in one place, we help our customers achieve all three of those things I just spoke about. They can reduce applications, they can reduce their cost, and they can get AI working because, again, we can pull all that data into our data store and then run all kinds of AI analytics against it to help automate their environments.
And AI has been exploding in growth, right? So what I'm interested in is, from the standpoint of the customer, how is it adding disruption for them? How is it benefiting them? What are you doing with AI in terms of adding it to your portfolio to assist your customers?
Yeah, so we have AI across every product we make today. And what I like to say is, in a new marketplace, there's always a lot of hype. I emphasize very clearly, everything I'm talking, about is GA, and it's used at scale in very large enterprises. So it's real stuff. Our customers have rewarded us by growing our observability business so far this year, 92% year over year. So we've seen big growth. The things they're doing with it, are very practical. How do they reduce mean time to repair? How do they how do they prevent problems versus people having to call their help desk to get something resolved? As I said, if you do a poll, ask how many people work in a large company and ask them, hey, do you want to call your help desk today? No one does. They hate it. And it's also a big expense for companies, right, to have a help desk, particularly in the larger enterprises. So what our technology enables people to do is diagnose problems before they happen, or if they do, unfortunately, have a problem, diagnose what that problem is and offer an automated fix for it. And it's everything from, we can notify a call center on their phone. Hey, here's a problem that's occurred. We can diagnose what it is. Is it network? Is it PC? Is it something else? And then offer what we call automated remediation. Hit a button and we'll automatically fix what's there. Track all that, put that as an example in a ServiceNow account. So they track it happen, they track it's closed, and they know it already occurred. And that's a very common thing that our customers around the world are doing today.
That's great. Now, are there any other trends in observability that are worth discussing? And you've got this announcement around AI-powered intelligent network observability solutions that tie into that vision. I'm just wondering if we can learn more about what's happening with the news.
Sure. So I'll talk about one trend, and then I'll morph that into the news. The two other trends we see out there are zero trust networking. So people are having challenges in zero trust because traditional observability tools don't work. So there we have a product called NPM Plus that uses, again, our platform in order to see into zero trust environments. So that's been very popular with customers. The next one that's been very popular is unified communications. And just like today, right? We're doing this in over a video platform. We find that people are spending more and more of their day on video platforms, and typically things always break at the least time you want to. So we have a unified communications module that allows you to, in real time, understand if things are working, if they're breaking. In real time, we'll give you some warning in advance, and again, use that automation to fix. Today, what we're also announcing, and again, we keep announcing more and more products, is our next generation network performance management appliances. And this goes across our entire network platform. And the idea, like you would think in a new appliance, as you would expect, it's up to 3 times faster what it's replacing, uses a smaller footprint, uses less power, all the things people want in order to do really 2 things. Scale with the amount of data that they're traversing over their networks now. With AI, that is going up, as you can imagine, because more data is being moved. At the same time, do that at a more efficient cost. So that's important. We've also added new visualization tools. We support Grafana, things like that, so people can get a better view of that data in real time in a customized way, the way they want to do. And so those are some of the new announcements that we're adding to what has really been a year of announcements just about every quarter of updating the entire portfolio end to end.
Certainly very impressive, and I'm sure it's keeping you guys busy, which is great. It's great to see technology continuing its disruption and adding value for customers. And speaking of adding value, and what you guys are doing with flex licensing, can you tell us a little bit about the benefits that gives to your existing customers?
Sure. So for us, hardware, and I've been doing hardware over 30 years, right? So hardware has been around a long period of time. But we're really a software company, right? The majority of our revenue is SaaS-based software. And if you look at flex licensing, what it recognizes is that in the network performance management space, we're really selling you an operating system and an application. It just happens to run on a hardware appliance. So we've now separated the two. And the reason why that's important is that it gives customers great flexibility with how they can deploy. So instead of just being stuck with that physical asset, they can deploy it in the cloud, because many customers of ours either run hybrid or they're migrating to the cloud. So they can take that same software license, decouple it from the hardware, run it in the cloud. They can decouple it from the hardware and just change underlying hardware underneath while keeping the software investment they have already made. So the whole idea, and the name Flex comes from, we give you, ultimate flexibility, and most people would like more options versus less options. And we give them cost savings, back to the 3 things that I mentioned that people are really worried about in their company is, how can I do my job at the best economical, choice possible? And by giving people the ability to have a license that they can use anywhere they want, and then use it through several generations of hardware appliance, gives them that flexibility, both in terms of how they technically deploy things, but also the flexibility in how they pay for things.
Great. So final question is what we can expect to see in the next 12 to 24 months. And if you're releasing a product every quarter, that's potentially 8 product releases. You got to get into my answer.
Yeah. So we have a lot more coming. I mean, if you look at this year, just briefly, and we started the year by announcing generative AI, announcing agentic AI, announcing predictive AI, that all work on part of our data stores I mentioned across our portfolio. We updated our acceleration products, in the acceleration space. Again, in this age of AI, people are moving data, in and out of clouds, and it's really slow for them. So we can take days away from time there. So we redid that whole product line up and down. Today's announcement we just talked about is how do we give you better views of your data through things like Grafana and other new dashboards, as well as appliances to help move that better. And then, what you're going to see us go into is, more ability for people to do self-healing, self-service, as well as really doing more kind of synthetic type testing that they want to do across their environment. So there's a lot of exciting announcements to come through the balance of this year. And, again, we have unified all this under one platform. It makes it easy people to adopt what the new technologies are at the pace they choose to do it. But from a development perspective, yeah, pedal to the metal. You'll see more and more coming out through the balance of the year.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks, Rich. Good to be with you.